And
It's
easy
awesome,
learning.
right? Where like Ebola, you really can't kill the whole population off because they die too
That is.
fast.
See,
So like if
I
you
mean,
get Ebola,
stop.
like you don't have enough time to transmit it to someone else because like the host dies, and then the virus. Yeah, like you
But
need.
you did it wrong.
Yeah, you need the right balance so that it can be transmitted really nicely, but then also be lethal. Norovirus is awesome at transmitting, but it's not awesome being lethal.
It's got it, you put out.
Well, antibiotics will work, it's viral. So it's only going to, antiviral medications would work, but those are like shaky at best. And a lot of the bacterial infection stuff like aren't responding to antibiotics anymore. So like penicillin is useless, has been for a long time. So they have amoxicillin. Amoxicillin is becoming useless slowly.
Yeah, that's what I'm on right now.
Yeah, so, but that one also is not so great as it used to be. Because we over-antibiotic everything. So a lot of times you have a viral infection, you go to the doctor, like, here, it used to just be write a script, here's some penicillin, it'll be fine. Well then penicillin, like any bacteria you have in your body, if it's resistant to penicillin, what happens to that population size? It goes way up. And then before you know it, you have bacteria colonies that are all resistant to penicillin, or amoxicillin, or whatever else like we're having an arms race with bacteria. And bacteria will win.
Shoot.
I know, right? So now doctors might not prescribe you antibiotic as much anymore, which is a good thing. Initially you're probably pretty pissed, you're like, I feel awful, I want an antibiotic so I feel better. But if it's viral, they really shouldn't give you one. They should let you just kind of burn it out. And especially your age, because your age is pretty resilient biologically speaking.
Yeah.
The young ones and the old ones, not so much. They need help. I want to be young, yeah, for sure. They gotta start prescribing me more. It's like, I'm not gonna make it. This is perfect for washing things off. So water and oil don't mix. You may not have ever seen this before, or you may have, hopefully.
Stop.
You also notice in cooking, every single time you bake or cook anything that involves oil or a water-based substance, you need something to emulsify or mix the two together. In baking, the ingredient that's almost always used is an egg. Eggs are perfect for it. They will mix with the polars and the non-polars and combine them into one. Now, some people are allergic to eggs, so then there's substitutions like applesauce. Okay, could soap be used? Yeah. Only problem is it's not going to taste so great. Okay, so soap absolutely could definitely mix the non-polar and polar things in a baking recipe if that's all you're after. Oh yeah. And we'll definitely make something.
So
But it's not going to look the same. If anyone's ever had like a muffin or bread made with applesauce before?
No.
Why would you do that?
I think I've
Does
had
it taste the
that
same?
before.
No. Yeah, I think it's awful too.
What if you have like
But I'm not
lavender
like
flavor?
eggs, I'm like just good right. It's just
Vanilla
Lavender
soap?
isn't a flavor. Lavender is a scent.
So, yes, you can still get these things to mix correctly, but you do alter their taste and consistency, so if you use soap, it will still mix. But it might not look the same.
Try
It
it.
might be a nice flat.
So I could use, wait, what can I use soap instead of?
An egg.
Why wouldn't I just put an egg in there? That's a waste of
Second.
Because you're vegan, that's why.
Chemically speaking, it'll do the same thing. Taste-wise, no.
Wait, so you could
You do what?
use like an egg.
Technically, washing an egg with your hands would take off the polar and non-polar things. However,
It's more expensive.
it's definitely more expensive, and there's a lot of pathogens on an egg. There's a lot of bacterial colonies that will not wash off with the egg.
A
They're part
carton
of
of
the
eggs
egg.
was actually like 38 cents.
And most, if you don't know this, most of the bacterial colonies in an egg are on the shell.
Why?
So you're saying we crush up the shell and just go like this?
No.
That's exactly what it's done.
Oh, so we
You know,
just have
just
to
like
You know, if you
remove
take
the
the
shell,
top and
then
bottom of an
the
egg and
don't
squeeze
worry,
like that, it
it's
won't break.
putting, like most E. coli in an egg or salmonella for
Yeah.
that reason is on the
Isn't that
shell
cool?
because it was excreted
I'll
by
bring
a
an egg
chicken.
tomorrow and I'll try it.
Right? So the colony is
I
still sitting
guess that
on
makes
it.
No, like if you wash an egg
Oh,
I'll donate it to first with soap and water.
Why would you wash an egg with soap?
Yeah, I will.
If you don't need to use the egg. wash
So
your
you're
egg.
saying you just crack an egg?
These are all ideas. So with that in mind, hopefully you have a better
Literally the whole time I've been
understanding
recording
of
this,
polarity.
it works.
Why? Some sort of random-
Yeah, I'll wash your hands with eggs.
I still don't know.
But why?
So what I have for you
It's like $1
is
for your
practice.
soap.
It's it says quiz on here. So you'll see this week as things get handed out, sometimes they're gonna be a quiz. Why?
Because they're
Quiz.
Because they used to be a quiz. And then instead of stressing out making more quizzes and stuff to study for and take the last time to quiz, let's just use it as practice. Because a couple of these questions give you a feel for the kinds of questions you might see on the test. If you haven't noticed yet, when I make a test, there's always one question on there where you look up at me and give me a death stare and say, what the hell, we never covered this, right?
What?
It's right down there. You're an a-hole, I hate you. Here's my test.
I know. I'm trying to learn here. Yeah. Because I don't pay attention, so I'll just watch it later.
So, front side would be an example of like, hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
Like just a straight, okay, can you regurgitate the stuff we did in class? Can you draw it? Can you write the, yeah, just practice. You don't have
Is
to
this
go wrong.
graded?
No.
Yes, it's
Then turn the page. Here's the, what the hell, Bulman, we never learned this stuff.
Good.
Third which molecule fits in an enzyme? We didn't talk about enzymes. You're right, we didn't. But can you answer that question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, as long as you get over that phrase of hating me.
You just need to know what the SP3 is.
Right, like so if you know the bond angle is 109.5, you just look at these and say, well, this one's going to have a 109.5, and then it would fit in there. Okay, so that one's not as bad, but when you go down, like number 3, then you're explaining the difference between 180 degrees in carbon dioxide versus 180 degrees in xenon dichloride. Okay, xenon dichloride is an sp3p, carbon dioxide is an sp, so that's what that question is getting at. But 4 is the one that usually makes kids want to throw things at me, which is fine. I can talk. So, have you ever seen the movie Dallas Buyers Club?
Nope.
Matthew McConaughey, all about like the AIDS virus or
No.
HIV. So essentially, what Dallas Buyers Club was a mock off of this particular drug, and it's based off a true story. So there was a drug called AZT, which was used to treat full developed AIDS, not just HIV. It was debatable as to whether or not it was working effectively, and it was really making people very, very sick. So Dallas Buyers Club is a story about a person that was acquiring drugs from other places, like Mexico or different countries, or even from suppliers, and then selling it out of a hotel to people that had HIV or AIDS, which is illegal, but of high moral value, I suppose, because they were making it affordable. So what the government did is they jacked up the prices of any sort of drug that was facing this because, and this is where the debate comes in, what did they want the population that had AIDS to do?
Pay a lot of money.
Die.
Oh.
That would be enough, right? If you're rich and you can afford it, cool, you can live with AIDS. If not, what do they want you to do?
Die.
So you don't have to worry about it.
Natural selection.
Matt Johnson is still alive.
Oh, baby.
Okay, so
I don't think so.
that was the issue at the time. Now, since then, the FDA has been regulated to sort of like keep prices available for people, and then there's a whole sort of side of conspiracy theories that no one ever will invent a cure for anything because cures are not monetarily valuable, right? Like if there's a cure for cancer, then everyone that provides cancer medication is out of a job. Right, Marcus? Now I sound like Mr. Bowles.
We were just talking about it last night.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a conspiracy theory though, okay? I have absolutely zero evidence for that, nor do I necessarily believe that is the case.
Necessarily.
You don't need
Yeah.
evidence anymore.
The drug companies are definitely evil people. I will definitely say that. I don't think they actively try not to help people so they can make money. Are you
Oh,
sure?
that's how-
I
that's
don't
how
know
business-
for sure.
that's how
but that's
business
the thing.
works.
Anyways, this question about ACT on there
You create your own customers.
Number
but never
4
help it.
is actually asking you specifically like all this stuff about it, and it just says, okay, circle atoms that have different hybridizations. Did you do that?
No.
Yeah, so this is like, you look at it, it's like, what in the heck? You freak out for a moment, and you're like, wait, the question itself is actually not that hard. It's telling you to circle different hybridizations. It's telling you to look and say, okay, well, what are the angles? What are the shape names on there? Like, it's not a hard question. On another practice question, up here for additional help, there's another practice quiz with Lewis dot that's not expanded. So just your CCC and your simple Lewis. It's got some other like example questions, and then there's this one on here, where everyone's like, what? We were talking about CL20. I'm like, yeah, I know we didn't. So this is the most powerful explosive the government has declassified that is non-nuclear. So I'm assuming we have something better than this, but I don't know what it is because it's classified. So this was synthesized first in '87. It's actually still used on smart weapon warheads, and it's like 20 times more effective than dynamite, so TNT. Now, chemically speaking, it's essentially just two TNTs kind of shoved together and
Okay.
bonded, is how they sort of made it. And these nitrates are what make things so explosive. So you went from 3 nitrates in TNT to 6 nitrates in this one. Now, why it's called CL20, I don't
I feel like all
exactly
of
remember
this
or
class
know
is how to
or
blow
care.
stuff up.
But all this
Yeah,
question
it's
is,
true.
it gives you all this stuff on here. You're like, oh, okay, sure. And then it says, all right, how
elements
about
to
this
make it.
NO2
Mhm.
thing? How would you draw that?
Really?
So like, if you can get through this, it's not a hard question. But it's an application level question. Like, it's asking about the real chemistry. Like, how did they actually get the NO2 on there? Because the NO2 is the only thing that makes it explosive. Now, for all of these things, there's a key already posted. So if you were looking down at question number 4, you would just kind of scroll through and be like, okay, well, how is it on there? And when you draw an NO2 on there, you're like, okay, I gotta see, so like you end up getting this single electron on there. So it must be just attached using simple Lewis. It's actually not that complicated. So it's just a matter of trying to get the bond out. Okay? My goal with this is to provide you guys with as many resources so that if you want to strive for that 100% test, you have the availability to do that. Capiche?
Mhm.
Alright, the remaining time is yours to practice on this.
I have